New York Comic Con 2019 is sadly over. I have lots to go over, the highs, the lows, the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm going to show you some of the great merchandise that I brought this year. Another great con for me, everybody's New York Comic Con experience is different. I would say it was a much better show than last year. Now, I'm not really a big celebrity guy. I don't do photo ops or autographs. It's just not my thing. But it is something that I pay attention to. If you went to New York Comic Con's website, the two big headliners that they had on their page was Paul Rudd and Tom Hiddleston. Both stars in their own right, but I was very surprised. You had to go 2 clicks deep to see that Billy D. Williams and Nichelle Nichols were there. I mean, we're talking about Lando, Colt 45 Calrissian, and an original cast member from Star Trek. They had a bunch of actors from Netflix shows like Deadly Class, and some actors, or I don't know if they were just people in the comic book industry. I had no idea who they were. On top of that, a photo op with Paul Rudd was $225. Tom Hiddleston came in at $250, and I understand that Tom Hiddleston was in town doing a play, and he took some time out of his busy schedule, and they weren't even there all 4 days. So when your two headline celebrities aren't even attending the 2 busiest days of the con, that's something that New York Comic Con wants to pay attention to. New York Comic Con is very expensive. If you're getting a Friday ticket, what was it, $50, $54, and then you're paying for a photo op with Paul Rudd at $225, before you even walk through the door, you're $300 in the hole. Thursday is very much becoming my favorite day of the con. The first couple of hours, it's not as crowded. You can get a lot of your shopping done. You can really walk up and down the show floor aisles. But with that said, my wish list wasn't really that big, and most of the things that I was buying were for friends and family who couldn't make it to the con. Also, tickets for Thursday did not sell out, and this should be a great concern for Repop. I did go all 4 days, and I would highly suggest at least going 3 if you really want to experience all that New York Comic Con has to offer. Friday, I was solo most of the day, and the first thing that I hit up was the Dragon Ball World Adventure booth, where they had a scavenger hunt. I'm a huge fan of anything Dragon Ball. They had a lot of statues and figures on display. They also had a demo for Kakarot, their action RPG game that is dropping in January 16th. I legit snapped my neck when I finished the demo. I completely forgot I was wearing headphones, and like I walked away and my head jerked and people started laughing at me. The scavenger hunt was very easy. You had to answer a trivia question. You had to take a picture of one of their statues and post it on Instagram. You had to like their Facebook page. All in all, 6 tasks and each time you completed one, they give you a little Dragon Ball sticker. And then when you got all 6, you went up to the prize table. You got your 7th Dragon Ball sticker, and you were able to pick through some prizes. It was like 4 or 5 stickers. You picked one. There was a couple posters that you chose from. And then they had like a lanyard, a keychain, or a wristband. I have a million lanyards, so I went with the wristband. I'm pretty sure I'm wearing it right. And then they gave you this awesome swag bag. It's got the shoulder straps and buttons. Very awesome. They also had very large statues on the outside of the booth. Guys, if you weren't able to make your way to the con, you could check out all the pictures that I took, statues and figures and cosplayers on my Instagram. I also got to play the Avengers game from Square Enix or Crystal Dynamics. I have to say I was way more impressed with the demo than I was with the footage that they showed at E3 or Gamescom, whatever it was. I got a very cool Avengers lanyard for playing the demo. But very much like Mortal Kombat, you're going to be able to customize your favorite superhero. You're going to be able to put them in classic costumes. I didn't get to play it, but PlayStation had a huge booth, and they were demoing their Predator game. So one person plays as the Predator, and then I think you have a team of up to 4. There was a lot of intense gameplay, and all throughout the rest of the con, you would suddenly hear this eruption of cheers as someone claimed victory. I did go to Genndy Tartakovsky's panel at the Hammerstein Ballroom, where he played the first episode of his new show, Primal. I am a big fan of his work, and I was totally blown away. After they showed the episode, they were doing a Q&A, but I had to catch my train. I was pretty close to the stage, and I went to the nearest exit, and when I turned the corner, Genndy Tartakovsky was standing right there. It was a really cool moment. I congratulated him. I told him I thought the episode was amazing. He thanked me. He shook my hand. I was about to explain to this guy that I would have loved to stay for the Q&A, but I had a train I had to catch. And then I realized, like, he doesn't care. Sunday is Kids Day, and last year it was very crowded, but this year I didn't think it was too bad. I was with my family and they all got dressed up. They cosplayed as characters from Naruto. Naruto? The guy who likes to eat a lot of ramen and talks gibberish. Believe it. It was one of my nephew's first New York Comic Cons and he was so excited. He was geeking out and people were taking pictures of them and it was just a really, really fun day. All right, guys, so I want to show you some of the haul that I got. I realized that every year, it can't be a slam dunk. Some vendors are going to come with great merchandise, but every year, can't be a banner year. At the very top of my wish list was the SH Figuarts, the exclusives from the Bluefin Bandai booth. Now, in order to buy those, you had to go to the booth first and get a ticket. And on that ticket, it had a time slot for you to return to the booth so you can buy the merchandise. I got my ticket. My time slot was for 10:45 to 11:15. I hit up some other vendors and I was able to knock some more things off my wish list, and I made my way back over to the Bluefin booth around 10:40. When I got there, the line was like 200 people deep. And I said to myself, there's no way that all these people have the same time slot as me. There was a guy standing at the front of the line and he got my attention and he was like, the back of the line is that way. And I was like, I thought they were doing time slots. And he was like, whatever, man, the back of the line is that way. I thought to myself, there's no way this is going down this way. And why am I talking to this goober? I found a staff member and I said to him, I thought you guys were doing time slots. And he was like, we are. And I was like, okay, well, there's no way that all these people have the same time slot. And he asked me, he was like, well, what time slot do you have? And I showed him my ticket and I was like 10:45. And he was like, oh no, you go right in. The guy at the top of the line was like shooting daggers at me like I just cut the line. I think he assumed like I knew the staff member, like he was a personal friend of mine. But this is some of the things that people do at New York Comic Con. Fight your way through the crowd, you make your way to the booth, you get your ticket, and you see you have like a noon time slot. So if you decide that you're just gonna hang around and maybe just jump online and see if you can squeak in before your time slot, that's entirely up to you. But this system is put in place so that way people don't have to wait online for 2 hours. So there were only really 2 figures that I wanted from the Bandai booth, and it was the Son Goku and the adult Gohan. They did have a new color version of Golden Frieza. I already have the common one, but I ended up getting it anyway. And I'm glad I did because the exclusive color edition, the paint job is 100 times better. I also got the Great Saiyaman figure, which wasn't a con exclusive, but it wasn't one that I picked up and I needed for my collection. And the great thing was it came with a free energy aura. But the big get at the con, at the Bandai booth anyway, was this Gogeta statue. I wasn't even planning on getting this bad boy, but they had one out on display and it looks so amazing that I grabbed one up, and this sold out I think by Friday afternoon. It was completely gone for the entire con. I made my way over to Kotobukiya, and I am a huge collector of their Bishiju statue lines. I do a lot of unboxing videos. But the exclusives they had for this year's show were pretty lame. They had 2 lanyards, 2 t-shirts, and a Dark Phoenix Art FX statue that I wasn't really feeling at all. Now, I did end up buying one of the t-shirts, but when I got home, I was very disappointed because when you looked at the picture online, the colors had like a nice sheen to it. It was nice and bright. But when I got it home and I looked at it, it just looked faded to me. It just looks dull to me, and it was $30, and it smells, for some reason, it smells like vinegar. I know you're supposed to like wash your t-shirts before you wear them, but whoever does that. And I made my way over to UCC distributing, and I was able to get some My Hero Academia pops. I got Toga, this awesome Todoroki, and this was probably one of my favorite things that I got from the con, which is a 6-inch Broly that I've been on the hunt for a while. But the great thing, just buying all those small amount of pops, I got this huge canvas shopping bag. This thing was awesome. It comes with a shoulder strap. I couldn't walk 5 feet on the show floor without someone stopping me and asking me where I got it from. So that's it, guys. That was my New York Comic Con 2019 experience. Again, it's hard not to have a good time at New York Comic Con. I'd really like to hear your con experience, good, bad, indifferent. Just let me know how it all went down for you in the comments, and hopefully I'll see you again next year.